Hello, thank you for clicking on my video to hear my hot takes regarding rock and alternative music. There's not too much to address in this intro, but I want to encourage anyone watching to comment your hot takes or unpopular music opinions down below. If I get enough comments, I'd love to make a video reacting to some of your opinions, so that'd be great. Anyhow, let's get into the hot takes. Okay, so getting into this, my first hot take is about the emo Trinity consisting of Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, and My Chemical Romance. I really think that Fall Out Boy should be kicked out of the emo Trinity and replaced with Pierce the Veil. I feel like Fall Out Boy is so mainstream, while Pierce the Veil I'd consider a lot more niche to emo, even though they are popular. And I feel like in the last 10 years, the music Fall Out Boy has been releasing is pretty commercial pop and lacks any kind of edge. Pierce the Veil has been way more consistent with making music that appeals to the subculture. In my opinion, they also have a much stronger discography as a whole. I mean, songs like King for a Day, Bulletproof Love, Bulls in the Bronx, Paraphernalia, Hell Above, I could go on. They're all emo anthems, and 10 out of 10 great songs. I feel like Pierce the Veil's most known work is stronger than Fall Out Boy's. Panic at the Disco and MCR are perfect there, but putting Fall Out Boy amongst them as part of this emo trinity feels so wrong to me. This isn't me just shitting on Fall Out Boy. I do enjoy some of their earlier songs, but I absolutely love Pierce the Veil, so that's just my opinion on this. Let's do another emo one. This one is about one of my favorite former bands, Panic at the Disco. My hot take is that Panic at the Disco's Pretty Odd is a better album than A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. For me, it feels more cohesive and polished. Sure, it's a twist from what we're used to from Panic, but it's probably my favorite Panic album. Fever can be a little busy to me. It's not that I just hate the album. It has tracks that I enjoy, but Pretty Odd is just great front to back for me. And don't get me started with people saying Pretty Odd is slow, including Brendan himself, who says that.
It's a very slow record. In my opinion, it's a studio record.
The album is not slow. It's actually very boppy and exciting, high energy. I don't understand that opinion at all. The album is anything but boring once you know the songs. I feel like the Fever hype, especially on TikTok, is either from people who don't listen to Panic and just hear the viral TikTok audios from Fever, or it's from people who just haven't listened to Pretty Odd. I know this is controversial, but it's how I feel about it. The next one I know is going to make some people not take me seriously, but I don't really care. I'm going to say it anyways. Nickelback's and Falling in Reverse's music are very overhated. I'm not sure if it's because hating on these bands is a fun trend, but let's not pretend like we can't bop to some of their songs. This is not me associating myself with the lead singer's statements or actions of either band. I'm talking about music, so before I hear anything about that, I don't always agree with Ronnie Radke's political takes, and I'm not sure if Nickelback is problematic, but I assume stuff is said about them. I'm talking about music, anyhow. They have songs you can have fun and really bop to. Music isn't always that freaking serious. Give it a break. Have some damn fun. If you can't shout the lyrics to I'm Not a Vampire without cringing, you need to get over yourself. Falling in Reverse, in particular, gets a lot of flack for their lyrics, but most of their songs that people criticize, like Bad Guy, are obviously tongue-in-cheek. Also, I'm sick of people saying how bad of a song Bad Guy is, but then only showing the intro of the song when they say that. Bad Guy is a song about the progression, and the whole song does not just sound like that first verse. Let's talk about another rock icon, Corey Taylor. I prefer his previous band Stone Sour's music over Slipknot's. I'll admit I've dove into Stone Sour's discography much more than Slipknot's, but that's because it grabs my attention more. I've heard quite a bit of Slipknot and it doesn't really grab me. It sounds very busy to me and it can be a bit chaotic. I think Stone Sour is still heavy but a lot more melodic. I would choose to see Corey Taylor singing solo Stone Sour songs over seeing a Slipknot show any day. And while we're at it, Snuff feels like a Stone Sour song to me, so it's weird that it's under Slipknot. There's not really too much to this opinion. I just prefer one band over the other. I haven't really found a Stone Sour song that I dislike. I can't say the same for Slipknot, but maybe Slipknot will grow on me one day. Okay, let's talk about Spiritbox. So my opinion on Spiritbox is that they would be much more enjoyable with melodic music. I really like Courtney. I like her vibe a lot in interviews, so I try to get into Spiritbox's music. I gave their new album a try and did kind of like a few tracks, but most of their music blends together to me due to the super hard-hitting screaming that she does most of the time. This is definitely subjective because, as I've said on my channel before, I'm picky with screaming. They did put out a softer song, Perfect Soul. It was more followable, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. You know what song Perfect Soul is without knowing the song like the back of your hand. I can point Perfect Soul out when it comes on. I think getting more into that pocket would really benefit Spiritbox so much because they're all great instrumentalists and Courtney does have a lot of vocal talent. It's just the songs they choose for me. I would definitely like to see them not pigeonhole themselves into being a screamo band, but instead get more into the hard rock space. But I mean, even though I haven't personally liked most of their music, Spiritbox is still a band that continues to intrigue me, and I'm interested to see what they put out in the future. Moving on to another female powerhouse in rock music, I think Poppy has one of the best screams, if not the best. Unlike Spiritbox, I don't mind or get bored of Poppy screaming, really at all. I love how her screams sound feminine and passionate. It's not just some guttural yell. There's a bit of spice in there for me. Her screaming is unique. I can listen to a song like Spit that I would most likely despise from a lot of other artists, as I'm not the biggest fan of screamo, and actually really enjoy it. She screams so well. It doesn't sound messy to me. It's been nice to see Poppy evolve into this type of artist and begin to get the respect she deserves. Feels like finally. Let's talk about the very iconic TV show Saturday Night Live. My hot take on SNL is that SNL is more so focusing on hosting trendy artists over showcasing artists that really deserve a spot as a musical guest. I mean, I like the songs of hers that I've heard, but why is Gracie Abrams on the show so fast after her come up when some artists and bands with insane legacies have never been on the show? One band that comes to mind as well is Shinedown. I mean, they have the most number ones on rock radio, people know their music, and they've earned their spot to perform on the SNL stage. This whole sentiment with SNL and their musical guests especially applies to rock music. They barely ever feature it. I'm not saying it has to be every week or anything, but letting rock bands and artists showcase their talents once in a while would be nice. It seems like as of recent, they're just open to pop and rap. Stuff like this just fuels poptimism because the general public isn't being exposed to digestible rock music. I think Jimmy Kimmel has been doing a great thing with having more rock artists on his show recently. I've really enjoyed seeing those performances. Threat to Survival is Shinedown's best album. It has front to back bops. The only one I really skip is Misfits. It's full of hits, songs that you can't help but bop to. I'm a frequenter on the Shinedown Reddit page, and every time someone ranks their albums on there, I feel like Threat to Survival is last. I completely don't understand the lack of enthusiasm for this album from the fans. Some of the highlights on this album are songs like Asking For It, Black Cadillac, Dangerous, and how can I not mention the massive hit Cut the Cord? It seems obvious to me that Threat to Survival is a masterclass in hard rock and Shinedown at their best. Let's give this album the flowers it deserves. I want to talk about some alternative music, so let me share an opinion about 21 Pilots. I really enjoy their music. Vessel is somewhere in my top 20 albums, but I despise their cover of Cancer by My Chemical Romance. It's so different from the original and just does not convey the same grittiness that makes the song Cancer what it is. The vocal distortion takes out all the vulnerability. I don't like the echoes at the end of the lines. MCR's version was so great because the almost raw and imperfect vocals that match the devastating, overwhelming, and heart-wrenching lyrics. You can tell Gerard Way sings from his soul when he performs this song, while the soul in 21 Pilots version was completely absent for me. Maybe if I didn't compare it so heavily to the original, I'd like it, but considering how much I adore and admire the original as a piece of art, the 21 Pilots cover is unlistenable for me. I think a quirkier, more upbeat song like Blood would have been better for them to cover from the Black Parade, but definitely not arguably the most powerful ballad on the album. Like, be fucking for real. Let's end on a hot take about one of the most prevalent and controversial alternative girlies, Melanie Martinez. Let me just say, I think Melanie Martinez's merch is horrendous. I said what I said. It's overpriced nonsense most of the time. Gumball machine necklaces. A lot of this stuff looks nice on the website, but when you get it in person, it's the same quality as like a $7 Shein shirt. There's complaining all over her Reddit about this. I know a lot of her fandom are collectors of her merch, which makes sense because the stuff just kind of sits on a shelf and you don't have to deal with using it. But if you're actually wearing and or using this stuff a lot, you'll realize it's really not great. I think with Melanie, your best purchase would be the physical media of her music. I mean, $75 for a tiny perfume in a plastic bottle? That's insane. And the creature perfume sculpture is so overpriced when the quality control is horrible. I mean, there's so many photos of wonky ones that have surfaced online. The candles were unnecessary and felt like the biggest cash grab in the world. I mean, maybe she's picking it up with her merch, and here's our complaints. Because I heard the recent box set board game she put out was actually pretty good quality. But as I said, the best stuff to buy from her is the physical media. So those were my hot takes on rock and alternative music. I hope you enjoyed listening to me yap, and I hope you thought about some of the passionate hot takes that you have and comment them below. I probably will do another one of these regarding pop music sometime. Anyhow, you know the drill. To support my channel, I'd really appreciate you liking this video and checking out some of my past videos. Also, make sure to subscribe so you see my weekly music commentary and daily music news shorts. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.